in Paris. So we ask, as always, if you could join in on the chat. We already have some chats. Hope Luka goes for 50 tonight. That is always a possibility when he touches the floor. Can Croatia pull off the upset? They should triple team Luka. That's not a bad idea. But as always, we invite you to join in on the chat here and give us an opportunity to chime in on some of the questions you have as we lead up to the game here today. Make sure you get at me on X and Instagram. On X, I'm Chris Sylvester _ C Sylvester PBP on the Instagram app as well. Go Papa Luka. A lot of love for Team Slovenia here popping up in the chat already as we've just gone live here moments ago. Make sure to stream the game. And you can do that at courtside1891.com. Again, that's courtside1891.com. Will we see more Luka magic tonight in Greece as they get ready to take on Croatia here, top of the hour from Peace and Friendship Stadium in Greece? Of course, Giannis and company will be playing a little bit later on. So that should be an interesting matchup as well. We are expecting Luka to play as Murikas checks in on the chat here. Already got over 150 people. Go Papa Luka from the Philippines. Rynel Robles wrote us. Hazonia versus Luka. That's a sneaky good former lottery pick matchup. But again, we are expecting Luka Doncic to play here for the top of the hour as he tries to get his native country of Slovenia into the Olympics later on this month. Of course, the Dragic brothers for a long time kind of represented Slovenia in the States in the NBA, but Luka has been a great representative, and I think that's a little bit of an understatement, clearly showcasing that he's capable of being one of the best players in the NBA, as we saw throughout that playoff run. Ran into a buzzsaw in the Boston Celtics, but the Mavs already loading up, picking up Klay Thompson, a 4-time champion yesterday. Also picking up Najee Marshall as well in free agency. They do lose Derrick Jones Jr., traded Green to the Charlotte Hornets as part of that sign and trade deal, bringing over Klay Thompson from Golden State. But in a Western Conference in the NBA, where every team seems to get better every year, whether it's an influx of youth or superstars teaming up together, I think it's great to see Luka's team in the States doing all that they can to try and make sure they can get back to the finals and maybe avenge that loss next season. So again, we're counting down to tip-off here. About 10 minutes from now, we'll bring you Luka Doncic and Team Slovenia against Team Croatia, which should just be a fabulous matchup later on tonight here in Greece. And again, we invite you to watch the action and stay tuned with us here on the chat, courtside1891.com. Jose Trujillo joining us on the chat, asking where we can watch the game. I'll say it again, courtside1891.com. We can watch the game together. We can chat hoops. Already got questions about Luka and his availability. I guess we'll find out at tip time, but we are expecting Doncic to play. Jose Trujillo acknowledging that we can watch the game over with our friends at courtside1891.com. Feel free to drop me a note on X at Chris Sylvester _ or on Instagram, C Sylvester PBP. We could chat all the hoops even beyond this stream And we'll be back tomorrow for some more FIBA Olympic qualifying action as well. Excited to see the Antetokounmpo brothers play for Team Greece. You just have to wonder what the usage will be like for Luka, obviously coming off a big playoff run. But this is a guy that has shown in some of these Olympic qualifying matches already that uh, it looks like he's fresh off of a full offseason. I mean, that's how good he's looked playing for his home country. Got over 200 here in the chat, so happy you're with us. Again, our chat presented by our friends at Smart. I already have people suggesting that they triple team Luka Doncic when the time comes. We'll see what Croatia's defensive schemes are to try and slow down Luka, and Team Slovenia kind of get this game into a half court style. Obviously, Luka can score at all three levels, but we've seen bigger upsets on this stage, right on the cusp of the Paris Olympics coming up later this month. Too Honest chiming in. Welcome to the chat over at courtside1891.basketball. This is the official FIBA Chat Party. This is not the game stream, but we'll be watching the game together here and talking things over. Give us your thoughts on the game. We can chime in together as Slovenia gets set to take on Croatia here, top of the hour. Again, this is the FIBA Olympic Qualifying Tournament in Greece from Peace and Friendship Stadium. Saw the Bahamas led by DeAndre Ayton hold off their competition earlier today. And now we'll get to see what Luka and Slovenia can do as they get matched up with Croatia. Again, this chat is primarily for anybody that's streaming or watching the game and wants to get some further analysis with it. We won't be streaming the game on here, but we look forward to having everybody with us that wants to chime in, ask questions. This is an interactive way for us to watch this Olympic qualifying round together. Make sure to chime in. FIBA basketball channel about a minute ago in the chat. Take your pick for tonight's game. Is it Slovenia? Is it Croatia? National anthem ongoing there in Greece. Again, anybody that's clocking in and wondering where they can actually watch the stream of the game, that's courtside1891.com. Any type of questions you guys have rolling in, whether it's basketball related or where to catch the game, we're here for you. We'll be having these FIBA live chats not only for these Olympic qualifying games, but also during the entirety of the Paris Olympics too. So it's a way for everybody else, our viewers, our fans, to be a part of this. Let us know where you're watching the game, who you're pulling for, what you're hoping to see. Just a few moments from now, we'll be tipping things off for 10-minute quarters here. So it's a little bit shorter than, a standard NBA basketball game for our viewers back in the States. We have our officials from Puerto Rico, Latvia, and Venezuela for this Olympic qualifier. Pretty big crowd on hand. It's not what we'd see for the home team Greece in their action, but this is certainly an appetizing matchup. We do see Luka Doncic out on the floor for Team Slovenia warming up. Mario Hezonja, former lottery pick of the Orlando Magic, in the starting five. Dario Saric, Ivica Zubac, three guys that have had terrific NBA careers. Josip Cisar is the head coach for Team Croatia. Ivan Petrov asks us, is Luka playing? Well, he's expected to. We'll get their starting five in a moment, but a lot of NBA talent. Jalen Smith also in the starting five for Croatia. Goran Filipovic in the starting five for Team Croatia as well. We have a viewer from Latvia tuning in. Zebi Jade forecasting that Hezonja is going to put up more than, or telling us that Hezonja had more than 30 points against Brazil, trying to repeat that feat here against a very tough Team Slovenia squad. As you can see here on the chat, we've got a live box score and a lead tracker for you. Rolling out Slovenia's starting five. Luka's in there. Zoran Dragic, the younger brother of the longtime NBA point guard Goran Dragic, is in the starting five. Josh Nebo in the starting five as well. Luka averaged the NBA's best in points per game this past season, 33.9, nearly 34 points a game. We'll see what his usage is like here coming off that insane playoff run. But obviously, he understands the importance of this to try and get his country into the mix for the Olympics at the end of the month. For those just joining us, feel free to watch the game. Courtside 1891.basketball/game/141-635 to get to this one specifically. It is subscription based, but if you just want to hang out and follow along the action, make sure to stay with us right here. We'll be doing these FIBA chat parties throughout the Olympic qualifying games and all through the Paris Olympics coming up at the end of the month. Should be fascinating. Obviously, USA heavy favorites, but Team Canada putting together quite the squad. Team Serbia, Nikola Jokic will be there as well. So a lot of top talent on display. And international basketball, if you've been under a rock the past handful of years, has just gotten so much better. And there's so much more parity, so much more balance now. And players like Luka Doncic are a big reason why. Got over 330 in our live chat right now, so feel free to chime in. Tell us where you're watching the game. Tell us what you'd like to see in this game. I can tell you the max pass that I'm watching this Slovenia-Croatia game on, courtside 1891.com, is worth it and then some. All right, so just about set for tip-off here. Should be a fun ball game as Croatia takes care of the opening tip-off. Three NBA guys, including Ivica Zubac. Of course, the Clippers just lost Paul George yesterday, reportedly signing a deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. And already an early foul here on Team Slovenia as Hezonja sneaks inside, fouled by Nebo. We'll get a couple free throws as we lift the lid off of this thing here. Ivan Petrov chiming in as we look ahead to the Olympics. He's saying that he feels like France has a chance to win the whole thing. Also looks at Serbia, Germany, Canada, and Australia as some sleepers to take care of this. Could an underdog make some noise like a Slovenia or a Croatia? Croatia splitting the pair. Hazonia 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Again, we got 4 10-minute quarters here. Luka launching a 35-footer out of the gate. Just missed it. A little bit short. Front rimmed it. Interesting to see how his statistics will stack up in this. He was a walking triple-double throughout the NBA playoffs and connects on an alley-oop with Nebo. That was swifty. Again, you can watch along as we chat along here. Chat parties from FIBA Courtside 1891 .basketball. You can watch all the FIBA Olympic qualifying action. A little signature hook shot from Zoo, and he follows it up. Offensive rebound and putback for the Clippers starting center. He was a guy that got his career started across the locker room with the Lakers, as Nebo has another flush for Slovenia here. So a couple dunks from Nebo for Team Slovenia. Luka set him up, put it on a platter, the first one. Uncontested dunk on the second. Both teams attacking the low post to try and get some buckets here early. Mario Hazonia with an easy bucket to put Croatia back in front. Curious to see, with the size that Zoo has in the low post for Croatia, how Slovenia plans on attacking him. That's the first 3-ball of the contest for Team Croatia. So a lot of people in our chat picked Slovenia to prevail in this one, and only a few minutes off the clock here, but it's a nice start for Croatia. They've hit 3 of their first 5 shots from the field. They are bringing those doubles at Luka, but that does leave the shooters open. This is an 8-4 start. Luka is playing. His team trailing by 4 points here out of the gate. Got over 400 with us in the chat right now. We'd love to hear where you're watching from. Courtside1891.com is streaming all the FIBA Olympic qualifying contests. A lot of fun chats coming in. Smart helping bring this to life. People wondering if there's a live stream of the game. We're just here to chat with you through the contest. Game is being shown at courtside1891.com. Mario Hazonia, some valuable buckets early for Team Croatia. Dario Saric putting in some work for Team Croatia as well. Saric spent this last year with the Golden State Warriors. Hazonia has been playing in the Euro League. It's the 5th overall pick in the 2015 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic. Spent a few years in Florida with the Magic, then a year with the Knicks, a year with the Trailblazers. Was a EuroLeague champ last year with Real Madrid. But this could be a good audition for him to get back into the NBA if he'd like. Vaka Zubac not happy with some of these early foul calls. It is a 10-4 start for Slovenia, which is a bit of a surprise. Nebo has all 4 points for Slovenia as they trail by 6 here early. Almost 4 minutes in, only 4 points. Luka has yet to score. Dario Saric trying to create out of the low post. Croatia's hit a couple threes here. They build the lead to 9 now. Our friends in the chat indicating that they all kind of felt like Slovenia was a shoo-in to win this game, but trailing by 9 points early. Is it takeover time already for Luka? Let us know what you think. A lot of people in the chat a little worried about Luka and how much stamina he's got left to give coming off a full NBA season and full NBA playoff run, which went to Game 5 of the finals. Game underway here, 13-5. Croatia in front. Luka going 1 for 2 at the free throw line. His only point so far, almost halfway through the opening quarter. Again, you could stream the game live, courtside 1891, bringing you all the action. Now, Zubac continuing to create for Team Croatia. Team Slovenia is going to take a timeout here with 5:20 left in the first quarter. Zu already has a pair of assists out of the low post. He's got a bucket as well. I have to admire the way Team Croatia has started this game out of the gate. This has been terrific. Make sure to stay with us on the chat here. Let us know where you're watching the game. Slovenia has already attempted 5 3-pointers out of the gate here. They have not connected on one. 2 for 3 inside the arc. Meanwhile, Croatia has knocked down a pair of threes in a few attempts. Dario Saric, the veteran, off to a great start. He's got 5 points, 2 for 2 from the field. All right, we'll see. How does Slovenia respond out of this timeout? Missed all 5 threes. Luka Doncic has been held to just 1 point here almost halfway through the opening quarter. What does this look like for Slovenia moving forward if they can't get Luka into a rhythm? That's my question. Do have a couple of free throws coming up for Team Slovenia. Zebby Jade. What's going on, Zebby Jade? Saying Zubac is going to have a big game. Already off to a nice start. Slovenia getting a lot of its production from the free throw line. 3 of its first 7 points from the foul stripe. Can they bring it on the defensive end? Croatia's kind of been able to get whatever they want. There's a deep three. That is Hazonia from way outside. Already 3 triples for Team Croatia here. Brian Nixon, my friend, I got some good news for you. You are able to watch the game courtside1891.com. A little heat check from Hazonia off the mark. We're unable to show this live on YouTube, but our friends at courtside1891.basketball have you covered. Luka into the lane, count it, and a foul. So he's got a chance at a three-point play. That's vintage Doncic there, talking a little smack after the bucket as he flutters in his first field goal. I mean, this is a guy that we saw so often, that Luka Doncic, throughout the course of NBA regular season game or a playoff game, he's got that little signature, let's call it a confident-looking smile after his buckets. Hazonia hit with his second foul already. So Croatia, they've got 2 starters with a pair of fouls down the stretch in this first quarter. Debo Chicago opines that Croatia's not going to hold this lead very long. We got Dario Saric as Slovenia bringing some help in the low post. Right now, I mean, there's an obvious rebounding advantage with the size that Croatia has. Multiple second chance buckets in this first quarter. They double up the lead again. Luka misfires on his second three. Insane pass from Hazonia. Shot did not go, but a foul gets called here on Team Slovenia. Again, courtside 1891.basketball. It is subscription based, but if you want a high quality feed, commentators, all that, scorebug, everything you can need and then some, I think worth the subscription. I mean, your chance to get an up-close look at who might be starring in the Paris Olympics here. More offensive rebounds, man. Croatia just hitting the offensive glass. Hazonia, a little sidestep this final minute of the first quarter. Gets blocked by Zubac on a 3, and now they find Zoo kind of cherry picking on the other end. Right now, things are just way too easy for Team Croatia. It's way too easy. Luka trying to bank in a step back jumper. I mean, many in the chat wondering what he has left in his tank. So final minute of action. Zubac will get a breather for Team Croatia. They've got a 16-point lead in the final 20-plus seconds of this quarter. A little isolation matchup leads to another easy bucket. You have to love the sets that Team Croatia is running right now. They're not trying to go one-on-one. They're not trying to out-talent a Slovenia team that has the biggest superstar in this game. They're just trying to find ways to stick to their scheme and get buckets. Now, a costly foul on a three-point shooter with 1.1 on the first quarter clock here. But it's already a big deficit for Slovenia, 31-13. People are wondering what's going on with Luka. Well, we'll see if he's got enough in the tank to try and lead this Team Slovenia team back. He's on the bench here for the final few plays of the first quarter. Lucas has Mario Hezonja under 17.5 points. He's done a nice job facilitating. Hasn't scored a lot so far here. And he's shooting the ball well when he's taking his shots. Lob pass in, and I tell you, Croatia got a pretty good look there, going length of the floor with 1.1 seconds left. And so 1 quarter in the books. Not sure too many people saw this coming. Croatia 15-point lead over Slovenia, 31-16 the count after 10 minutes of basketball. Luka Doncic only 4 points in the opening quarter. You look at some of the numbers here. Team Croatia, 9 of 16 from the field inside the arc, 4 of 7 outside the arc. The big goose egg for Slovenia, they've attempted 8 threes in this game, and not a single one has gone in. Luka Doncic did have an and one, but missed on all of his step-back attempts. He's going to have to do a lot more for Team Slovenia to have a chance here to come on back in these final 3 quarters. Again, if you want to watch the action, still 3 quarters to go. A lot of good basketball on the docket for these FIBA Olympic Qualifying games. Courtside 1891.basketball. Croatia just dominating the paint. Efren Cordero joining us on the chat. Got over 400 in the chat room right now. Let us know where you're watching from. Got a lot of people telling us about their scoring props and what some of their picks were in this game, whether they be from a team standpoint or players. 71% of our voters, and that's a number that's rising rapidly. More than 730 people have voted now. 71% have picked Slovenia to win this game. And I tell you, it's a gutsy decision at this point to click Slovenia as your winner, facing this type of deficit after 1 quarter. Now, time will tell if Team Croatia is able to execute the final 30 minutes of this game as they were the first 10 minutes. Panos Kakavas with some optimism for those pulling for Team Slovenia, saying, don't be misled by this score after 1 quarter. This is going to get good down the stretch. Luka's coming back on the floor to start the second quarter, and I like that decision from Slovenia. He barely sat in the first, just the final few plays, but there's no question they need his scoring prowess. They need his facilitating abilities to find some offense, because they really struggled from the field, especially from the perimeter in that first quarter. Mario Hezonja took a shot. First play of the second quarter. Team Slovenia with the basketball. Show you right side of your screen. You see in the live play-by-play action, every bucket, every foul, rebound, assist. Got a foul here on Team Slovenia on Croatia's first trip into the front court in this second quarter. Dario Saric on the dribble handoff, got knocked over. Saric playing a little bully ball coming down the lane. Right hand shot off the glass and in. First bucket of the second quarter. Dario Saric, hope you took his over points if you're playing some props in this game. He's already got 9. Now Luka finally finding some space as he was picked up by Saric there, and Luka Doncic grimacing a little bit as he recoils defensively. He's got 6 points now, so 6 points for Luka, 2 of 5 from the field, open 3 missed by Croatia. Here's a chance to string together some buckets for Slovenia, something we haven't been often able to say in this game. Got a reach-in foul on the floor against Team Slovenia. Courtside 1891.basketball if you want to watch the action. Our friends at FIBA bringing you a terrific stream of the game. Ivan Petrov chiming in with some good points here. Look, Luka doesn't look like himself in terms of the way he's moving around, but obviously this is so important for him as he fades away, doesn't get the bucket to fall, but does draw a foul. And that's when Luka's at his best, right? I mean, getting to the rim, getting some easy high percentage looks, and getting defenders to bite on some contact. He's got a chance to string together 4 straight points as he toes the free throw stripe here. And he knocks down both. Shadow Double Z wants Luka to lock in here. Luka's up to 8 points for the game. But that outside shooting for Croatia continues to be a thorn in the side for Team Slovenia. Doncic now 8 points, couple of rebounds. Ali joining us, wondering where you can watch the game. Again, that's courtside 1891.basketball. Can catch all the FIBA Olympic qualifying action. Luka's starting to find it now. He's scored the last 6 points for Team Slovenia. Get some really high percentage looks, not settling for jump shots like he was in the first quarter. I think he's starting to understand that there will be some seams to the bucket. There will be some open lanes for him to get some easy shots at the rim. %70 of our voters, almost 900, have chimed in now. Still think Slovenia is going to win this game. Luka and Team Slovenia have yet to hit a shot from the perimeter. Panos Kakavas telling us that one thing about basketball in Europe, players are really hardcore when they want to be. It's a mentality thing that you don't often see throughout the course of an NBA season. As Zubac's coming back in here for Croatia, Saric to the bench. Luka picks up a foul. Already had almost 3,000 views here. We'll get you individual player point updates here momentarily. Dilla chiming in with saying Zubac turned into prime Shaq against Luka. We saw it in the playoffs. That was a fun first round, Clippers and Mavs. They also matched up in the playoffs back in the bubble. Luka had that signature game-winning shot, but it was the Clippers that won that series. Doncic does have some foul trouble here. He's picked up a few. A lot of player prop watching going on in our chat. So Slovenia's cut this thing down to a dozen. Still have yet to connect on a shot from the three-point line. Boy, Zubac it's too easy. I mean, he's getting Doncic one-on-one in the post, spinning around, dunking freely. 10 points for Ivica Zubac of the LA Clippers. Of course, they've been trying to navigate life without Paul George. Give us your thoughts on NBA free agency, too, and what the offseason has brought us in the chat. We'd love to talk all things basketball with you here. Luka starting to facilitate a little bit more. His teammates got to help him out, though. He's set him up with some pretty good looks that haven't been cashed in on. Got another knockdown three for Hezonja, and Croatia just dominating from the perimeter. They go up 41-24. They've got a big lead again. Every time it's kind of looked like Slovenia was going to figure some things out. They got to take another time out here, as Hezonja and company have really had their way from the outside. Look at some of the numbers. Team Croatia, 59% from the floor. How about 6 of 11 from the three-point line, 11 of 18 inside the arc? Now, Slovenia's done all right on their two-point attempts, 7 of 13, but still a goose egg in the three-point make column, 0 for 10. And just 7 of 23 overall. That is not going to get them to Paris. They've got some serious adjustments to make. Courtside 1891 is where you can catch the stream. You can also download the Courtside 1891 app. Watch on your mobile devices, tablets. I've got an iPad here getting ready to watch the game. Got Lithuania, Mexico coming up later. We do have some NBA chat in the comments. People are liking Chris Paul and Wemby. Dilla liking Chris Paul and Wemby. Those lobs going up for Coach Pop in San Antonio. Slovenia now 0 for 11 from the three-point line. They do get to the free throw line here. So bonus is expected to play for Lithuania later on. Bahamas with a victory earlier today, led by Portland Trailblazers big man DeAndre Ayton, former #1 overall pick. So got some big names here, trying to get their respective countries to Paris at the end of the month. $10 points for Luka, in some foul trouble. Has not connected on a jump shot yet. All of his points have come on layups or at the free throw line. Figure he's got to get that jump shot back into a rhythm. See if Luka can create. Leading the break on the way back for Team Slovenia. Little turnaround jumper inside the free throw line. Wiggles out. Zubac with the rebound for Croatia. Adding to his totals. People predicting that Lithuania, Shadows in the chat joining us. That Lithuania's got a chance to really pour it on Mexico later, although we've had over 1,000 votes, almost 1,100 votes. 70% of our voters think Slovenia is going to win this game. And they've been down much of this first half by double digits. The ball movement's just been so much better for Team Croatia, and they have dominated on the glass. Have to love the footwork from Zoo. Couldn't finish on that last bucket, and now Luka gets tripped up at midcourt. Boy, yeah, you feel for Luka because he just played over 100 regular season plus playoff games in the NBA, leading the Dallas Mavericks to the finals. Coming up short there, and you have to love his commitment to keep playing for this Slovenia squad. But clearly, every time he's hit the deck or been made contact with in this game, he's come up grimacing a little bit. Zubac's picking up his second foul, sending Doncic to the stripe. Team Croatia picking up a technical foul. Really not happy with the trip up on Luka at midcourt. Luka up to a dozen points now. A lot of people want Luka to get rest, but I think Luka wants to help his Slovenia team to the Olympics. I think he's got that on his mind before resting up. We'll have a good 3-4 weeks in between these and the Olympics should Slovenia prevail, but they've been on the wrong end of the scoreboard this entire first half. I think the big question is, can they cut it to something respectable, like 6 or 7, 8 points at the halftime break, regroup, and come back with a better effort down the stretch? They still have not connected on a three-pointer. They will need to knock down some shots from the outside to have a chance. Meanwhile, Zubac just keeps getting to his sweet spot in the low post and cashes in on another two. Four minutes left, first half. Quick trigger three. Croatia hits another one. I mean, sometimes when you're taking on a team where you're the underdog, you've just got to let them fly and hope they go in from distance. And right now, the discrepancy from the three-point line is single-handedly taking Croatia into comfortable lead territory against this Team Slovenia squad. Everything from Slovenia in the paint, a lot from Croatia coming from the outside, but it's been a really balanced scoring effort for Team Croatia here to build this 15-point lead. Zoo drive and kick sets up another open look. Corner tray won't go. 3:20 left here. And Doncic can't hit the close range teardrop. He just hasn't looked like himself a lot in this first half. Shadows asking if Nikola Jokic is going to play in the Olympics. We are expecting him to play for his native Serbian national team. Nikola Jovic of the Miami Heat as well is expected to play for that Team Serbia squad. I think there was another Nikola taken by the Atlanta Hawks from Serbia in the second round of the NBA draft last week. So here's Zoo, 12.7 rebounds for him with 3:04 left. A little knockdown at the stripe. A 48-31 the count inside of 3 minutes. There was a Nikola Topic taken as well in the first round, obviously coming off an ACL injury that likely would have had him a lottery pick if not for that. Kind of reminds you of Michael Porter Jr. Remember when Michael Porter Jr. was like the number one overall recruit in the country, goes to Missouri, never gets healthy there, falls to the Nuggets, and obviously such a big part of their championship run last year. Meanwhile, Luka adds a little teardrop here. Slovenia led by Doncic with 12 points, but he's just 3 of 8 on his 2-pointers and has not connected on a 3 as he steals and then gets knocked to the floor. And how much more of a beating can this guy take? Zubac's up in arms, not happy with the foul call as he picks up another one. Now, the foul trouble is going to be interesting to watch down the stretch in this game. And Luka with a bucket on one end gets fouled on the other. So Doncic with Slovenia in the bonus headed to the free throw stripe. We'll keep you updated on all player stats coming up here at the half. We do have a Zoran Dragic sighting on this Team Slovenia squad. Goran has retired, no longer playing. .48-35 to count. And can Slovenia cut this deficit to single digits by the half? That's the big question, I think. Final 2 minutes of this Olympic qualifying match in Greece. Dario Saric, top of the key. Shot clock into single digits and offensive foul. Now, Croatia, this is the first time in this first half that we've seen Croatia kind of sputter here. The passes, the ball movement kind of been figured out by Slovenia's defense. And it's gotten a little clunky as Zoran, the brother of Goran, the veteran, taking a charge there from Dario Saric. Up a baker's dozen is Croatia inside of 2 minutes. You can watch it live, courtside 1891. Dot basketball. Over the back foul on Nebo here after another Luka missed jump shot. Just hasn't been able to quite land it. We've got almost 1,300 votes. 69% of you still think that Slovenia is going to win this game. Down double digits as we approach halftime. Dario with a couple free throws on the way. Knocks both down. Again, we got 4 10-minute quarters here as part of this Olympic qualifying action. Can Slovenia make some noise the final 90 seconds? Nine points for Dario Saric, who spent this last year with Golden State Warriors, who've added Melton after they lost Klay Thompson in free agency yesterday to the Dallas Mavericks. He'll be teaming up with Luka, Kyrie, and company. There's Slovenia's first triple from the outside, and it took them almost 20 minutes of game action to finally hit from out there. We'll see if that opens up the floodgates. Slovenia is now 1 of 15 from three-point territory. And it's just been too easy for Croatia. They get another easy 2 near the bucket. (52-38) the count. Final 50 seconds. Another long 3. This one bounces off the front rim. Dario getting low in the paint as he scores over the top of Doncic. Now the shot clock is dark. 16-point lead for Croatia. Slovenia can hold for the final shot. Saric approaching a double-double already. 13 points, 9 rebounds for him. As the corner tray goes in, nice southpaw finish on that one from Team Slovenia. Their second of the half. A prayer is no good at the buzzer from Croatia. So we reach the half, and Croatia, they've been in control through the first 2 quarters of this basketball game. 54-41, the halftime count, 13-point lead in what many of you would expect to be an upset. Still 68% of our voters, almost 1,400, have added to our FIBA poll now here on the Basketball Channel. 68% still think that Slovenia is going to win this game. It's going to take a big, the free throw stripe, kind of helping 2 of 17 from the outside. Meanwhile, Croatia, they're +9 on the glass. They've assisted on 19 of their makes compared to just 5 from Slovenia. The only thing Slovenia really has going for them, just the one turnover. Luka leads all scorers with 16. Zubac has 14 to lead Croatia. Saric with 13, approaching a double-double already. And those are some of your leading scorers at the half. So here in Greece, a couple quarters closer to determining what the Olympic picture might look like. Luka Doncic, 16 points, 6 rebounds at the half. Zubac, meanwhile, 14 points, 7 rebounds, doing a lot of heavy lifting for Team Croatia. And that's where we are here in these FIBA Olympic qualifying matchups. Should be really interesting to see what Luka can do. Can he finally start to hit some jump shots? Everything for Luka came in the paint or at the free throw line in the first 2 quarters. That's 6 rebounds at the half for Luka. Got 1,400 votes in our poll now. 69% of you still think Slovenia is going to win. A lot of love for Luka. A lot of people aren't sure why Luka's playing, but obviously this means a lot to him to represent his country. He's by far and away the biggest superstar to come from Slovenia. Our friends at FIBA dropping box score in the chat. So again, 54-41 the halftime count right now. Looking at some of the numbers for Team Slovenia, Luka Doncic, 4 of 16 from the field, 4 of 10 from 2, 0 of 6 from 3, 8 of 9 at the free throw line. So really finding a way to influence this game at the foul stripe. Doncic has 2 assists, Picked up a couple of fouls as well, but 6 rebounds for Luka. Also has a steal. Although, how about this? I don't know if we expected Luka Doncic to have the worst plus minus of any player that played in that first half. Minus 14 in the 19 and a half minutes where Luka was on the floor. Other side for Team Croatia, looking at some of their leaders. We did give you the numbers a little bit earlier, but happy to do it again. Zubac, 14 points, 7 boards to lead the way. Mario Hezonja, just 2 of 7 from the field, but 2 of 4 from the three-point line. Also has dished out 5 assists and pulled down 4 rebounds. He was a plus 15 in the first half. So those are certainly some exciting player props to watch. Everybody's been checking those out. I do have to not underestimate what Luka just did in the NBA playoffs and what he's trying to do here for his Slovenian national club. Hoping to make an impact and get them to the Paris Olympics later on next month. Hey, we'd like to invite everybody watching here. We've had over 4,200 views already. But we'd like to invite everybody watching to subscribe to our FIBA, the basketball channel right here on YouTube. Just click that subscribe button. I mean, I just did. Click the subscribe on the right-hand side and become one of more than 2.5 million that are subscribed here to the FIBA YouTube channel. Over on courtside 1891.com, you can catch all the action. We're watching some highlights of Team USA taking care of Team Italy in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Well, how about a Tyrese Halliburton lob up to Paolo Banchero? Bogdan Bogdanovic play alongside the Joker for Team Serbia. We're showing some highlights there as well. Let us know what you've thought about the first half. What are some of your props that you're waiting in on? Like, what are you sweating out these final 2 quarters? Sounds like people have some parlays cooking. People are hoping Luka has 13 more points in the final 2 quarters here. Croatia led by as many as 18 in that first half. Slovenia was able to skinny down the lead a little bit, take it down to 13 here at the break. Ivica Zubac has just been nothing short of spectacular. 14 points, 7 rebounds to lead Croatia. 6 of 9 inside the arc. Has also gone 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Maxiel Viegas chiming in saying it's going to be tough for Slovenia in the second half if they don't hit their threes, and couldn't agree more. I mean, they were over from the three-point line until they hit a couple that final minute. Slovenia has to be banking on those three-point floodgates starting to open up again. Luka is playing. He does lead Team Slovenia with 16 points at the half. Panos thinks that Slovenia's got to come back up their sleeve in the final 2 quarters here. Doncic only a couple of assists at the half, does have 6 rebounds. So about 5 minutes left at the halftime break. Both teams back on the floor warming up. Started the second half. Make sure to chime in on the chat. Subscribe here on the FIBA Basketball channel on YouTube. Let us know what you think is going to happen down the stretch. What are you sweating out these final 2 quarters? Croatia 61% on their 2-pointers, 7 of 17 on 3-point shots, just 5 of 7 at the free throw line compared to almost 20 attempts at a near perfect clip for Slovenia. Big reason they're still kind of within somewhat of striking distance here is that free throw shooting. Can watch the game courtside 1891.basketball, still 2 quarters left. I'm watching in HD right now myself, looking at Zubac and Team Croatia start to warm up to get ready for the third quarter. Ivica, 14 points, 7 boards. Big thing to watch out for, and we talked about this. What does the three-point shooting look like in the second half for Slovenia? Just 2 of 17 from 3. Also got Spain, Lebanon ongoing right now. Courtside 1891.basketball. Spain 37-21 over Lebanon. About 5 minutes left, second quarter of that game. Slovenia actually wound up winning that second quarter 25-23 after Croatia took the first quarter 31-16. The defense was a little bit better. Offense was certainly a lot better for Slovenia in the second quarter. Dario Saric played a big role for Croatia. We see him getting ready for the start of the second half. Coming up just in a couple of minutes here, we'll be starting the third quarter. Can it be the beginning of a big comeback for Slovenia here. Can Luka start to find his rhythm and knock down some shots from the outside? It is badly needed for Team Slovenia. Badly. Maybe you need it for your prop plays, your parlays too. Almost got 1,700 voters in our poll. 68% of them still very confident that Slovenia is going to pull this thing out. So Luka, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He leads in all 3 of those categories as we come out of the half here. Again, make sure to subscribe to our FIBA basketball channel here. 54-41 coming out of the break. All right, so here we go. Start of the third quarter. Team Croatia with the basketball first. People hoping for a Christopher Rojas in particular, looking for a Luka masterclass in the second half. We'll see if we get it. Could be a Zubac masterclass. He's got the left-hand hook shot, swirling around the iron and dropping in. That boosts the Croatia lead back to 15. 56-41 here. There comes Doncic to the left elbow, and he splashes in the jump shot. So Luka with a hit on his first attempt of the second half. (56-43). And now Luka hits his first three-point shot. So that'll bring it back to 56-46 here. There's a long three. Team Croatia gets a friendly bounce. That's Smith from the outside. (59-46). They find Zoo, roll into the cup. They've just got nobody to defend Zoo down there as he's got another 2 points. 61-46. 26 points in the paint for Team Croatia. Luka sets, fires a three. This one's in and out. So Doncic hit a couple jump shots coming out of the break, but has missed his last 2 attempts. Lead is 15 for Croatia. They've got a chance to grow it, and that's an off-balance bucket. Mario Hezonja with his first 2-point make. Hezonja is up to 8 points. 8 points, 5 rebounds for the former lottery pick. Well, Slovenia just can't seem to get anything going here. 63-46, bad pass from Croatia, and they turn it over for a fifth time in this game. Well, Slovenia got it down to 56-46, but Croatia's responded with a nice run to boost the advantage again. Doncic off one foot. That's a beautiful elbow step back jumper for Luka. So Luka carrying Slovenia coming out of the half. Up to 20 points now on the game is Doncic. Courtside 1891.basketball if you want to watch the action. Smith out of a shot fake from the corner, takes it baseline and draws a foul. A lot of people in the chat asking about Smith and his numbers, his props here. He's got a chance at the free throw line to add to Croatia's lead with a couple shots. Dilla chiming in. We did get some big basketball news since we've been on. Kemba Walker calling it a career. Kemba had a great run, not only in the NBA, but in college basketball too, helping his UConn Huskies to a national title. 65-48. Croatia in front. There's a steal. Hazonia throws it down with the right hand. Transition dunk. And Croatia's starting to pour it on again. They go up 19. 6:20 left. Slovenia trying to find any answer. Right now, it's getting out of hand. Doncic has 20, but he needs a little bit of help. How many times do we say that in the NBA Finals? A couple free throws here for Team Slovenia. Zubac picks up another foul. I think that's the fourth on Zoo. Not too happy about some of these calls. The biggest guy out there on either side. Big free throw make for Slovenia as they try and find an answer beyond Luka Doncic to consistently score here. $67.50 the count. That's a nice push shot from Sarge. Just couldn't finish it. A little bit strong off the back rim. Luka on a driving kick. That's an open corner shot. And Slovenia connects. Just their fourth triple of the game. They have not had a ton of luck from the outside, but they cut it down to 14 as Klemen Prepelic takes his second. And Croatia responds with a three-point shot of their own. So every time it looks like Slovenia is going to cut into this deficit here, Croatia just finds a way to regain a comfortable advantage. Up 17, got a chance to grow it to 20, and they do. Timeout, Slovenia. Things are getting out of hand here about halfway through the third. 73-53. Big advantage for Team Croatia. And I tell you, a lot of people didn't see this coming. Can Slovenia make some sort of comeback effort here? Right now, it doesn't look all that promising, trailing by 20 points with just about 15 minutes of hoop left. A lot of people wondering how much longer Luka Doncic is going to be out there if Croatia keeps this comfortable advantage from here to the finish line. So 73-53 the count, 5 minutes left in this third. Let us know what you think's going to happen. Our voters are still hitting Slovenia. Are they aware that Slovenia trails by 20 and they turn it over out of the timeout? "20 points here for Luka, but it just has not been enough." Some people are saying, hey, at least if Luka comes up short here, he can rest ahead of the NBA season. But obviously, if he's out here, he'd like to take this Slovenia team as far as they can possibly go. Back-to-back turnovers for Slovenia leads to a couple free throws for Croatia to try and expand this lead beyond 20. "22 points for Luka Doncic. Go along with 8 rebounds and 5 assists for those tracking. Goran Filipovic has 15 points, 4 of 5 from three-point land. Jalen Smith has 11 points. He's dished out 3 assists. Mario Hezonja, 10 points, 5 assists. Dario Saric has secured a double-double. Dario's on triple-double watch here. He's got 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Zubac, despite only playing 18 minutes in this game, how about 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists for him? He is in a little bit of foul trouble with 4. And a reach-in foul on Team Slovenia here. I mean, we kind of thought that Slovenia would come out of the half with a little more fire, a little more energy. Unfortunately for them, that hasn't been the case. They've continued to dominate on the glass. All right, we've got a new vote for you beyond the winner of this game, and this is kind of looking out of hand here. If you were Slovenia, what would you do with Luka in the fourth quarter? Would you start him or would you sit him? I'm going to say start because we know what Luka's capable of, and 61% of our voters already saying that Luka should play in the fourth quarter regardless of the score. And I think a lot of those are pro-Luka prop bettors as Smith hits from the outside for Croatia, growing this lead back to 21. Saric has already corralled a double-double, 15 points, 10 boards for Dario. Mentioned the 6 assists that he has too. $79-60 the count, and make it 81-60 on another easy low post bucket for Team Croatia. That's Mario Hezonja with 2 more. He's got a dozen now. Luka can't hit from 3. And on the offensive glass, a foul on Croatia. You can see the frustration for Luka starting to grow a little bit here. A little clarification appears from the officials as they hit the video monitor to take some second looks at this. Dario Saric now 3 assists away from a triple-double. Got a little clarification on the foul here. I don't think it's a free throw situation, although one of the officials still at the scorer's table talking it over. Doncic, 22 points to lead all scorers, but his team trails by 21 here. Team Slovenia has not had a lot to cheer about. They've got their fair share of fans here, but it's been a tough effort. I think they finally figured out the issue with the clock. Had a little bit of a stoppage here with 2:37 left in the quarter. Hope you took your overs on Dario Saric. He's having a huge game. Still waiting on some sort of clock issue here, and Luka's sitting on the scores table trying to take as much of a breather as he can as we get ready to resume this game. Looks like one of the clocks has gone out here. I think that's part of the issue. A lot of people need Luka to score 6 more points. He sits at 22 right now. So 2:37 left. We're stuck here as they work out a clock malfunction. Courtside 1891 will have you covered. See Team Greece a little later. The Antetokounmpos, led by Giannis, playing in their home country. taking down the basket, trying to reconfigure some things. So we will get this game resumed here hopefully shortly. (22-8) for Luka, and you can't help but feel like this little delay here is probably a good thing. Game is stopped right now in a shot clock issue delay. That's what we're being told. Everybody's stretching, getting ready for the game to resume. Game temporarily suspended due to a technical issue here. So we've just been told. We don't know how long this delay is going to be. Both teams are staying near their respective bench areas as they try and figure out the issue. Communicating with our folks, trying to see what the next steps are. Slovenia will take on New Zealand Thursday after this. Everybody kind of getting a second halftime here. You almost wonder if there's going to be much time between the third and fourth quarter after this long stoppage. So as we wait for this game to start back up here, take a look at what's been going on in the NBA today. Mo Wagner returning to the Orlando Magic, 2-year, $22 million deal. Magic had a nice run as the 5 seed in the Eastern Conference last year. Wagner averaged 11 points, 4.5 rebounds in 80 games. He and his brother, big part of what's appearing to be a trending upward situation there in Orlando with the young Magic. Magic also locking up free agent guard Gary Harris, returning for his 5th season with the Magic, 11th in the association, 2-year, $15 million deal. It's like the Heat and the Lakers are trying to work something out to get DeMar DeRozan to their respective franchises. Former number 2 overall pick James Wiseman inking a 2-year deal with the Indiana Pacers. Earlier today, Bronny James signed his multi-year rookie contract to play with the Lakers. Of course, LeBron is yet to sign, but it feels like just a matter of time before he re-ups his deal with Los Angeles. Of course, big news today, Donovan Mitchell staying put in Cleveland. 3-year, $150 million extension to remain a Cav, which is an interesting move. I think a lot of people felt like maybe Mitchell would be in a predicament to maybe ask to go elsewhere. Luka Doncic, 22 points. At the time of the suspension, we've got him on the stationary bike now. That's a good chance for you to get over to courtside1891.com, catch the conclusion of the game, as well as Lithuania, Mexico coming up later. Game has been interrupted because of a shot clock issue. One of the shot clocks above the backboards no longer working, so we're trying to figure out how to go about that rest of the game here. A lot of people need Luka to have a strong fourth quarter.
Spanish. I don't talk that, but the pesos be speaking the language. I got pesos in the bag that got a money sign. All the swimsuits that she wear that got that bunny sign. I'm just chillin' and she feelin' how I live my life. I take no prisoners and I never take advice. You got locks and shake your head, throw that smoke up in the air. You can either get it poppin' or complain like isn't fair. Blow that money like a candle on a birthday cake. Getting money, that's the words they hate. I'm counting USD, where's Frio? I'm about to catch a flight, when I need pesos. Plenty pesos, lots of pesos. I brought a bag of dollars, now give me pesos. I'm counting USD, where's Frio? I'm about to catch a flight, when I need pesos. Plenty pesos, lots of pesos. I brought a bag of dollars, now give me pesos. Give me pesos, give me pesos,
Looks like both teams are taking turns shooting on one end of the floor, the basket that's currently functioning as we get ready for the start of the second half. And the fans have, as impatient as they are to get this thing back going, I think they're doing the most with this situation. In Greece, at the FIBA Olympic Qualifiers. A lot of Luka fans in attendance. Looks like they've got the other basket back up, just trying to figure out a clock situation. 1891.com. It's probably been the most popular question we've had in the chat so far, where you can actually watch the contest. First, the 2 free throws missed as Filipovic picks up his 3rd foul. Able to drain that one, so it's 84-62. Final 2 minutes of this 3rd quarter. No Zoo on the floor. Out of this stoppage, sidelined with 4 fouls right now. A lot of people are skeptical that we'll see Luka at all down the stretch in the final 10 minutes of this game. Hazonia not on the floor either for Team Croatia. Can Doncic get something positive going for this club down the stretch? As he draws a reach-in foul, he's so good at drawing the fouls. There's a corner pop. Another miss from the outside for Slovenia. An unfortunate theme that is kind of scripted this game. 5 of 27 is Team Slovenia from the 3-point line. Saric on the right block, backing down Luka. Spins into a triple team, dishes across the lane. It leads to an easy 2. And right now, Croatia, before the start of the 4th, is putting Slovenia in the rear view. Doncic, alley-oop, finds Nebo for another slam, but that only puts a very small dent into this 23-point lead for the Croatian national team. Another reach-in foul on Dario Saric. Well, with Zubac and others off the floor right now, this has to be the opportunity for Slovenia to get within striking distance. Still 10 minutes left, but I wonder how much Doncic has left. You wonder if Slovenia sees any advantage in playing Luka with another game about 48 hours from now. Dario Saric, perhaps the player of the game here. He's 2 assists shy of a triple-double. Maybe that's why Team Croatia is keeping him out there. .40 seconds left in the 3rd. Doncic finding room, sneaks inside, adds 2 to his total, so that's 24 for Luka. On 8 of 14 inside the arc. He's only knocked down 1 3. Perimeter shots have been a big issue for Team Slovenia all game long. They missed their first 15. reached in on and fouled. Well, he got poked in the ear. (93-70), 9 minutes left. Been a comfortable lead. Croatia has led wire to wire in this game. Saric, step back three, barely grazes the iron. Offensive rebound, put back, you bet, off the window and in. Not only have they dominated every statistical category on the offensive end, but their rebounding advantage has led to a lot of easy second chances. Doncic throws it away. Fast break layup won't go, but a late whistle and a foul. Olympic qualifiers, Croatia making a strong case with the likes of Zubac, Saric, and Hazonia in the starting five. Zoran Dragic, a notable name in the Slovenian starting five with Luka Doncic. There's a step back three. One that Slovenia badly needed. Now it's 95-73. Filipovic with another knockdown for Croatia. I'll tell you, their three-point shooting has remained consistent. Have to applaud Doncic for still being out there, but it's 98-73 inside of 8 minutes left to play. Triple-double for Luka, 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists with 7:54 left. And he's headed back to the Team Slovenia bench, but still pacing around in play. Looking at a potential out-of-bounds call here. Got an official review. A lot of people need Luka to cash in on a few more points. See if that's even possible here. So 98-73 inside of 8 minutes. We pick things back up with Croatia in control of the basketball. And they get another easy low post bucket across the lane. 100 in the point column for Croatia. There hasn't been much resistance from this Slovenia defense. Luka, that's a three. A lot of people need it. It pops out. And a foul on Slovenia with 7:19 to play. They trail by almost 30. Been rather fascinating to see this unfold. Not many saw it. Saric, that's a long two. And on the assist, Dario Saric getting closer to that triple-double. Got a chance to add match Luka here, just one assist shy. .102.73, 6:51 left. Croatia continues to put the pressure defensively on Slovenia as they commit another silly foul. With 6:50 left, Mario Hezonja is on the floor. That tap back won't go. Underneath, Nebo a couple misses. And finally a whistle comes in there for Slovenia with 6:36 left. Nebo caught a couple alley-oops, had a couple dunks early in the game. Now at the free throw stripe. Triple-double for Luka. 26 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. But not even close to enough against this Croatia squad tonight in Greece. Doncic is still on the floor, despite the deficit. And Slovenia forces Croatia into a turnover with 6:23 left. You can watch this game and the rest of the FIBA Olympic qualifiers on courtside1891.com. Nebo with a nice spin and flush finish.
Tell me where you at in your location.
102.77.
Drinks and we killing by the cases. I don't remember names, only know the faces. These girls party, getting wasted. Now I got my hands up. Oh, I'm throwing rubber bands up. Oh, I bet I look just like the man, don't I? Oh, we getting lit every day, getting paid. We the life of the party. Don't know if I'ma make it home tonight. And we can't do no wrong tonight. Liquor on the floor.
104.80 here inside of 5.5 minutes. Doncic adds another rebound to his total. It's just been too easy at the rim all night long for Croatia. Slovenia didn't have the size coming in. You thought maybe they'd combat it with some good shooting from the outside, but that didn't wind up being much of any difference at all in this game.
Growing up to be a boss was the plan. Now I got exotic women getting tans. We just wanna look good at the party. We just wanna be fancy. 4 a.m. we don't ever sleep. Yeah, cause we just wanna keep dancing. We the life of the
So 104-80 the count. Got a timeout on the floor with 5:21 left. Slovenia does have a pair of threes in this fourth quarter, but had only 5 through the first 3. Tell us what you look forward to in the rest of the FIBA Olympic qualifiers by joining us in the chat. We've had over 10,000 people chime in. A lot of people still need one more Luka bucket. This team trails by 24, just outside of 5 minutes left. Saric on a drive, puts it up there, it rolls in. Hope you took the over. Props on Dario Saric. 106-80. Open 3 for Slovenia. Off the side iron. Saved in by Smith. Croatia can start to ease off the gas here a little bit. Up 26 with 4:40 left. Saric hands. And Azonia tried to throw it down reverse style. A little smile as he watches the ball ricochet out with 4:31 left. Comes Doncic with a head of steam underneath, passes out, gets it back. Luka in the corner, dribbles into the paint, couple up fakes. He's got 5 to shoot. He'll dish it underneath, and a missed shot. So no bucket, no assist that trip down for Luka. Got just 4 minutes left in this game. That bounce pass underneath taken away. Luka has not touched the ball this trip down. Slovenia gets a open 3 elsewhere, and they cash in from the corner. So hopefully finding some things to build on here ahead of Thursday's matchup with New Zealand. It's 106-83. Nikolic, after missing his first 5 from out there, connecting for Team Slovenia. Dario Saric for 3. Couldn't get it to go. Rebounded by Nebo. Now Nebo trying to catch that alley-oop underneath, but he stepped out of bounds on the baseline with 3:09 left. 106-83 the count. Croatia all over Slovenia in this one. Slovenia never had a lead in this game. Dario Saric triple-double. Big highlight here. A Dario Saric masterclass it wound up being. Three minutes left. Offensive foul on Slovenia. Or rather Croatia here with an even 3 left. Doncic drives. Couldn't connect on an alley-oop there. It's saved in. 10 to shoot for Slovenia. Out of the corner. And it rolls off. And tapped out last touched by Slovenia. So 2:36 to go here. Looks like Croatia and Slovenia making some substitutes. Wound up being a very quiet fourth quarter for Doncic. .228 left. Doncic no longer in the game. It's just academic at this point. (106-83), a dominant outing for Croatia in this game. Nice drive to the bucket. And that's off the glass and in. A couple more for Croatia to bring him up to 108 for the game. Inside of 2 minutes. Slovenia's got one of their bigs in now, and probably could have used them earlier. Chat is going up. A lot of people upset that it came up short on the points. Getting close to the final minute here. 108-87 to count. Inside of a minute now as the jump shot doesn't go. Second chance opportunity. Nikolic on the offensive glass. Well, Slovenia's definitely going to look at the missed threes when eyeing the box score here. Those just never came to fruition. Finally saw some go in down the stretch of this game, but not while they were in striking distance. Zonia still in the game in what they'd usually call garbage time, right? So how about this? I mean, got to be one of the bigger upsets we've had in the Olympic qualifiers, with Croatia not only beating Slovenia, but dominating them. And the final buzzer sounds 108-92, your final score. Croatia inching closer to potentially getting invited to Paris and being a part of the 2024 Olympic Games at the end of the month. Could be a sneaky team if they play like this. Perimeter defense good, as was just about everything else. Everything was clicking when it absolutely needed to be for Croatia in this basketball game. Luka and Slovenia, hopefully they can get some rest. Obviously, Luka coming off that terrific playoff run. Everybody would like to see him be at his best and see how this Slovenia team, can fare with or without Doncic on the floor during action. They kept him on there as long as they could through the 3+ quarters that we saw him today. Did finish a point shy in a lot of the plays here. But 108-92, your final score. We appreciate you joining us here on the Olympic Qualifier Chat. Make sure to keep it locked. Subscribe here, FIBA, the basketball channel on YouTube. We'll be with you for these Olympic qualifiers and the Olympics. This is exciting. Chat Party presented by Smart. We're going to be with you throughout all the Olympic games. We'll have you covered in the chats. Might be a little easier for you guys to watch that action, but we do invite you to invite all the Olympic qualifying action. Courtside 1891.basketball is where you can catch it. You can catch me on X at @ChrisSylvester_ and on Instagram at @CSylvesterPBP. Until next time, 108-92, your final score. Croatia takes down Slovenia in Greece.
I'm a big deal.